Hi guys, I'm Laizy. I play main tank for Natus Vincere. Today I will be talking about Barik and how to play him like a pro. What's the best talent? The reason why people play Tinkering for the most part is just because of like you being able to stand on point, and oftentimes you do see teams pick Ashe or Fernando, all these other composition that just goes into your backline, and then you just have this tank just sitting on point, not doing anything at all. So what Tinkering does is that you can actually sit there and snipe people from point. You can also push up to people because there's actually like a lot of damage you can pull out. I do make tiny adjustments depending on maps, like Jaguar, for example. You can actually get like more healing station card on the turrets because you can hide them like behind the walls and you can just walk back and heal every time. Other maps like Bright Marsh, you know that you're gonna sit on point and there's a far distance from like a wall or somewhere where you can hide your turret. So when you're up against the Nara or something, she would just shoot the turret like immediately and destroy it. So the healing station is not that valuable, so you can get like more max health or more into like the shields, but not that much in healing station. For example, if you play against Eevee, you want to have more max health because the biggest counter to Barik is Eevee ults. The moment you get Eevee ulted, you're crippled. That means you can't even proc your rocket boots, and if you don't get the first one off, you're gonna get low and you're probably gonna die before you even get the second one. So you also get the reset, but you don't get that off either. So it's important to have the max health to make sure that you can kind of like survive the initial burst and then try to get out and then trigger the bowling ball. Situations will be depending on the record value. If you have like Atlas, he has obviously the shield that can't be broken, and then the other tank would always be a good one like Barik, because Inara doesn't have any shield. So if you end up taking Atlas and Nara, the enemy team doesn't have to take record. So that's why you kind of want to like get the Barik just to force them to also have record, because if they don't get that, they can get more resil, they can get more damage reductions, rejuvenate, and all these kind of cards. It depends on the healers. There are situations where they have Inara and Jannas. If they have Jannas and you have the Barik, you don't need to go above Cauterize 2, because Janna's heal is not too strong compared to Damba with rejuves and all these kind of cards. So you don't want to go above Cauterize 2, but if it's like a Maldamba, Ying, or these kind of certain characters, if you can get away with it, you want to get Cauterize 3. But in most situations, because of this meta, there's a lot of CC going around. So if they do have a Maldamba, you have to get Reso 1 or Reso 2, because you're up against the Inara and a Damba. You're gonna get Inara ulted, and you're gonna get either also Damba ult, and you're just gonna die flat out. So focus on getting Cauterize 2 as the first thing, and then right after that you get Reso 1 or Reso 2. The sweet spot is Reso 2. Never get Reso 3, it's kind of pointless to have, I would say, unless they have like a weird con on some certain map. So depending on the matchup, if there's like a pip, you want to make sure that you use your shield first, because if he's gonna ult you first, the bowling ball is not gonna help you. So you have the shield and you can kind of like dance around till the pip ult goes out. If it's like a normal tank versus tank matchup, like usually it's Inara, you want to start out with the bowling ball proc first, so you have the first shield, and the moment you take like a little bit of damage, you just want to pop your shield while you're getting healed. You don't want to like pop it the moment like your shield goes off or something. So you kind of want to time it with losing some health, but also make sure that the shield is gone completely. So you kind of want to, give it some time before you just start using and spending everything. Dome Shield is, I mean, it's a very versatile ult, but it's also really hard to execute with, especially when you want to play aggressive. I would say it's a very good ult when it comes to resetting, like if your whole team dies and stuff and you kind of like want your team to respawn and get back in positions. You want to use your Dome Shield on point or anything. It might look like a waste, but it's not, because you're giving your team time to actually get back, while 4 people from the enemy team is like running around with you on point and trying to kill you. The moment they actually do kill you, they have to run up, but we already have the positions. That means if they have the positions, I'm respawning and I can literally just walk up and then cap, compared to if I died immediately, I had the ults, they would already be up in our spawn zoning, and I would just get dismounted 5 miles away and I wouldn't even be able to make it to point, and that will make my ult completely useless. So Barik's biggest counter would be Tyra, I would say. The Mark just makes, like, now it just runs into you, pops the water field and just hits you for 1 billion damage and you cannot do anything. Other situations is like when they actually have like a very point heavy focus composition. But that's really hard to predict because like usually in pro play at least, you pick the tanks pretty early to make sure that the enemy team doesn't get what they want. For example, if they take Janna's, you might want to look into getting Barik ASAP because the Janna's buff on Barik, it just does so much, like you can actually just kill anyone in a 1v1 basically. Especially with the Janna's because it's like a consistent heal and that means you have your support also standing somewhere else. So why it also makes it really strong, the Janna's and Barik, not only because of the Barik being able to consistently do the damage, but also the fact that Inara has to use right click really fast because of that damage. So when she comes on point, she gets hits like 3 times. There's also Janna shooting compared to like a Dama. He doesn't stand there and shoot, right? Yeah. So you have the Janna's damage and you also have the Barik damage. So she right clicks, and what comes next afterwards is that if she doesn't wall quickly or if she walls too late, or even if she does wall, she's just gonna get grabbed and then her head would just poke out of the wall and everybody can just finish off. I'm Laizy, and that's how you play Barik like a pro.